Good morning and happy Sunday to you. Welcome to Intuitive Guidance with Dr. Karina Felix. And in this weekly broadcast, I discuss principles of metaphysical science and other time tested practical guidance for your health, wealth, and general well being. The study of metaphysical science encompasses philosophy, psychology, parapsychology, mysticism, quantum physics, the religions of the world, the universal principles and laws, and anything that helps us live a better life here on this earth and even in the hereafter, because it's all interconnected. So today's topic is how to increase your prosperity. And I will touch on what prosperity is, the different type of prosperity that's available to us, as well as some steps you can use to implement in your daily life to increase your prosperity in your life. But before we begin, I have just a few little exciting announcements I want to share with you. And that is, first of all, right after this broadcast, meaning at 12 p.m., I will have a Q&A discussion. If you would like to jump on the Zoom call, it's private. It's just between, um, it's not obviously broadcasted live, but join me right after if you think this was a great topic. And let's discuss this a little bit more and go a little deeper into it. And again, work through some of these steps. My second announcement is even more fun. And I don't think I came up. Let me see if I have a picture. But I've decided to have once a month a master class that's called Transform Masterclass. And I get to invite guest artists to come and showcase their knowledge, their expertise, what they're working on making a difference in the world. So the last Sunday of the month is the 27th. I may have put some stuff out saying 28th, but it's the 27th on a Sunday. This is another 5-week month, but and I'm having Nandini Gosin Mayro, and Nandini will lead this class where she will show how teaching kids about plants and nature can help them become future inventors, artists, leaders who help protect our planet. Again, I think this is October the 27th, which is the last Sunday of the month, right after the live broadcast. We will all jump on the Zoom call and walk through her process, her workshop. And every month, I will have someone different in this work series. If you go to my website, karinagfelix.com/masterclass, you will see the upcoming presenters that I will be having for the next few months. And as the information comes in, I will be updating their bio and what their talking topic is. But in the meantime, you could go and see what Nandini is going to present for us at the end of this week. And I'm so excited to have her on. So now that all of that is out of the way, let us now sync up our energies. Let's connect with our higher self. Let's get in that peaceful, calm, quiet space. Again, sometimes we just need a moment just for us, and this could be your moment. Be comfortable if you're sitting up, feet on the floor, hands out to receive, or you may lay down if that's what's more comfortable for you. It doesn't matter as long as you engage I'm going to put some soft music in the background with a candle. In meditation, sometimes to keep your mind focused, one of our beginning meditation practices is to sit and stare into a candle that's flickering. And when you stare into it long enough, it kind of blocks out the rest of the world. But the important part is when you close your eyes, then you see the light still flickering. And by focusing on that light, you can help go into this meditative state. So, as we're saying our prayer, and you go into this light meditative state and take in the words and really let it shower you, really let it fall over you. Okay, so I'm going to put some music on and I am going to read from my prayer book, Prayer Treatment for Health, Wealth, and Joy. And I am going to choose prayer treatment for serenity and ease. I am taking this moment to remind myself I am blessed and appreciate. I maintain and establish control over my life, its success, and my happiness by turning my personal mind over to the controlling universal God mind. This one universal God mind has ultimate control over the outcome of all things in my life and experience. The thoughts I think radiate out an energy field into the psychic atmosphere, attracting to me conditions that give me control over my success and my happiness. My finances are controlled and expanded by the power and wisdom of my universal God mind. Dear divine presence of universal God mind, I turn inward to your presence at the center of my core. My mind, body, soul, and spirit are open to your control in everything I do, think, and speak. Peace and calm are established in me now through the knowledge that as I exist in your universal body, so too you exist within my physical body. In peace within me, I rest in confidence that as you control the universe, your power controls my life now and eternally. For your presence is vibrating success through me. For this, I give thanks. Let it be so. So it is. Whew. It's always good to start a Sunday morning with a nice prayer to heal us and calm us and just again shower us. Talking about shower, it's pouring rain here, but to shower us with that blessing of wellness and abundance and prosperity, which is what we are going to get into today. So, in prosperity, we kind of get mixed up with certain words. Some words meant something very different to us in the past, in the lifestyle we lived before. And now, as we're moving more into this spiritual awakening, this spiritual world where we're finally understanding how our mind, our words, our thoughts controls what happens in our life, it is very important for us to understand what the word prosperity means. Most people just assume prosperity is attached to money, possessions, the physical things we could see. In my metaphysical studies, I'm going to show it here, Dr. Leon Masters, which is our, who is the founder of the University of Metaphysics, wrote in our curriculum, first, we must establish the term prosperity. Prosperity is not only financial, it is also in, it also includes love, health, happiness. Experiencing one of these elements without the other is not true prosperity. And again, we have to step away from just being attached to what's on the outside because we have, like I said, we have three different levels of prosperity. And on the second resource I wanted to share, and this is something that Jesus said in the Bible, and he say, lay not up for yourself treasures of the earth, but seek ye the treasure of the heart, where thieves will not break it and steal it. Oh, that's pretty deep. And what he's referring to again is, we always say, when we die, we're not taking anything with us. There's nothing to take with us. We have to leave all of this material stuff behind. And the time to enjoy it is now while we're here in our physical body. This is why we get to have prosperity and abundance. But let's first break down what prosperity truly means. So we have three types of prosperity. We have the material prosperity, mental prosperity, and spiritual prosperity. And they each builds on the other. And one doesn't work without the other, like Dr. Master says. Unless all three are balanced and working simultaneously, then getting that prosperity that we truly want doesn't come to us. And we wonder why. Why is this not coming to us? And that's because one of these, whether it's material, mental, or spiritual, they're not interconnecting. So let's go and dive a little deeper into what that means. So in mental prosperity, one of the reason is it is not how much you have, but how happy you are with what you already have. And you've heard many stories of people who went out and say, I've made all this money, I have all the stuff, and yet I don't feel fulfilled. Even though you feel like you don't possess all that your dream can desire, you are still content with what you have. So when you feel that, okay, I don't have everything, but for now I'm okay. It's all about the message we're sending out there to the universe that's so vital to our prosperity and our manifesting. Being thankful for what you do have and not annoyed by what you don't have. We usually focus on the not having part. I know it's not easy. It's not easy because we're watching TV and we're watching constantly they're bombarding us with these advertisements, and they're constantly showing us prosperity at a whole different level. The travel, the car, the house. And yes, some people want that, but not everyone wants that. So what does material prosperity means for someone who's really not either interested in having the opulence or already had it and is thinking, okay, what else? We are, human beings, and our needs is always about expanding and growing. So that's just part of who we are. It's not being needy, but it's part of growing. But we can't just grow in one department. We have to grow in all. You have the basics to maintain a comfortable life. So this is a moment of gratitude, of appreciation, of saying, well, I have the basics. I have a bed, I have a roof, I have food, I have, my close friends, my family. When we can appreciate the basic that we already have, that whether we get more or not, it doesn't matter because we can survive right now in what we have. Focusing on the health of your body. Now, we are here as physical being. So when we think of our body, which is kind of material, but we appreciate our health, our wellness, our well-being, the body itself, you give it that attention. Um, that also is prosperity. Prosperity is having a healthy body. When I sometimes when I'm cooking, I like to be very deliberate with what prosperity means to me. And I will make sure that as I am preparing my meal, whether I'm chopping my onions and peppers and, seasoning my food, to make a conscious effort to say, thank you for my health, that I could stand here and prepare a food. Thank you that there's food in the refrigerator. Thank you that I had money to buy the food that I could put in the refrigerator, that I can prepare a nice meal that I can share with my family and my friends. Like when we can live in this moment of gratitude and appreciation of our prosperity, this is part of the prosperity process. It's not just the possession of having. Our body is very important to us. It is not the quantity of what you possess, but rather the quality of who you truly are from within. When you have filled that empty space in your heart, when you know you have put out goodness and kindness and you're being true to yourself, that is also prosperity. That again, just the feeling good of just not doing for yourself but doing for others. And in that space you start creating more prosperity. Now you're sending out more energetic vibration of I am content, I'm in a good place, I'm okay. And the universe has to bring it back to you. Just have to bring it back to you, right? So the second step, or the second part of prosperity, is mental prosperity. And in mental prosperity, it's having peace of mind even when everything looks bleak on the outside. Yes, we have election coming up if you're in the USA. There's a lot of war in the world, and we know that, we understand that. Um, but sometimes not every one of us, that's our mission. There are people, better said, there's souls on this earth that came here specifically for a specific task. And it's important that we each find our soul's mission and soul's vision and what it came here to do. And my really deep diving into what that is, because then the person who's here to save the whales are working on that. The person that's here to do the environment, they are working on that. So it's important for you to understand or find out what your purpose is. We can do everything. We just cannot tap into everything. But if we tap into that one thing and we pursue it, that's where we make a difference. Knowing the difference between the effects produced by positive and negative thinking, thus choosing to think positively. When you realize that whether you're thinking positive or negative, how you affect not just yourself, but you're affecting the complete environment, the conscious collection. We all are connected. And in that connection, we influence each other, not just ourselves. So just by knowing the difference between the positive and the negative thinking, and the difference it makes not just to you, but to everything, that it is really vital for you to pay attention to, as much as possible, stay in that space of positive, positive, positive. Being able to forgive, therefore receiving the mental blessing of a clear mind, not darkened by hate, anger, or revenge. So, we already know that whatever we put out into the universe, it's like a boomerang. It comes right back at us. Whatever you put out, whether it's even just in your mind, even if you never spoke it, but just a feeling of that person, just doing that creates this backlash. It comes back at you. So when someone says, just go ahead and forgive that person for doing whatever they did to you, it's really not about that person. It's really about yourself. It's about keeping your mind, body, soul healed from within, because we do more damage to ourselves than we even think. We're not even aware. Sometimes when we're gossiping about people and spreading bad rumors or just judging other people, it really is a mirror effect on ourselves. We're bringing that back to us. So be very aware of forgiveness just means I am letting go so I can be free, so I can continue to prosper, so I can continue to be abundant, I can continue to be healthy. It's literally letting go of stuff that just doesn't serve you no more. It doesn't serve you no more. Hanging on to grudges and revenge and getting even, let it go. Just let it go. Being mindful by controlling your thoughts and guiding it for the betterment of one's life. So, as I said earlier, when you are in the moment, when you are consciously living in the moment, being conscious of your thoughts and your actions, obviously, and controlling. So, this is where mind mastery comes in, which is controlling your mind from what it's thinking, which means constantly you have to be aware, what am I thinking now? What am I thinking now? We have neglected our thoughts for so long that we're not even aware of all of that chatter going on. It's going on all the time, 24/7, even in your sleep. The subconscious mind doesn't sleep. It's there. It comes up in your dreams. It comes up when you're like daydreaming. It's always there. Your job is to become aware of it. Because if you're not aware of what your thoughts is saying and the conversations you're having with yourself, that's the vibration you're putting out into the universe. And that is what you're going to manifest. And even if you said, I did not ask for that, I did not want that, but you did not check in with your mind and see what's going on in there. So being mindful by controlling your thoughts and guiding it, the GPS, recalculating, and guiding it for the betterment of one's life. Having a different perspective in all situations opens up your mind to non judgment of race, status, or creeds, honoring all God's creation. Again, as I mentioned earlier, we're all interconnected and everything is energy. Literally everything. The wall behind me, the desk, sand, this space right here that we can't touch, but we know there's vibration happening. Everything is energy and everything is connected. Everything. So everything is affected one way or the other. So, by having a different perspective, is to see something, even if it's a bad something, and try to find what we call the silver lining. Try to find the goodness in that, what is the goodness in a person, situation, an outcome, whatever that is. Take that story, flip it around, look at it from a different angle, try to find something that's good about that situation. And just doing that, like it says, you honor God's creation. Everything is God's creation. So, who are we to judge? Who are we to criticize? Who are we to just not give it the importance and appreciate it and be grateful and thankful? So, again, having a different perspective, it's very important for us to learn to be flexible, to be able to change our minds. It doesn't matter what we grew up learning, and according to the four agreements, we're domesticated by what our parents taught us, and church and society and whatever, the news, whatever. It's time to think for yourself, make your own decisions, see the world from a different point of view, and that will make such a huge difference for you, for the world, for everyone. And now we're going to switch to our spiritual prosperity. So, the spiritual prosperity, knowing that God is as much within you as God is all about you. This is where, again, we're talking about being connected with everything. You are God. Your higher self is God. You're part of a co creator in this amazing creative universe that we live in. And it is exciting when you realize that something that didn't exist 2 minutes ago exists now because you had a thought. Someone had a thought and they took that thought and they turned it into something. And one of our biggest thoughts that we all love today, of course, is our cell phone. Someone thought about it and someone thought, well, I'm going to make this happen. So we have to understand that everything is gone, everything is energy. And knowing that God is as much within as about. Knowing that the true place of worship is the church within you. When I was younger and I was studying the Bible, it always came up, go within. There was one passage that says, go into your closet and close the door. And people took it literally. And it's not meant to be taken literally. When Jesus talked about going into the closet, he meant going into yourself, into your meditation, into that quiet place to be alone, to go into this space where you can meditate and connect with your higher self. And it's not, and also the word church kept coming up, and most people think church is this physical place that you gotta get up Sunday morning, get dressed, and drive to a building to worship. And that's again a misunderstanding of the translation of church in the Bible. We are the church. We, our vessel, our avatar, our body is the vessel. When you go to church, you have this respect for it, right? You want to make sure you keep it clean and organized. And we have to do the same thing with our bodies. Our body is the church. This is where we worship. We got to worship from inside here, from this physical body. So remember that knowing that the true place of worship is the church within you. Knowing that the church within you is the church without walls or confines of space and time, the eternal dimension of mind. This is our church. This is our church. This, this is our church. Our church is within us. There is no walls. There is no boundaries. We live in a dimension that is infinite. There is no beginning. There is no end. We don't die. We really don't die. We just discard the body, but we don't die. And like I said in the last broadcast last week, we're our soul's avatar. And just like we create our avatars for gaming, and when you're done with that avatar, you want to change it. You want to change the hair color, you want to change the costume, and you can change the avatar. And that's pretty much what the transition is. We just get rid of this body and we go and we get another one. And that's the transition. We will talk about death and transition at a different time because that's a topic all on its own. But I really want to continue stressing to make death your ally, your friend, part of the process. By letting go of that, you'd be surprised of how much you let go of in general, including prosperity. Going within with daily spiritual practices such as meditation, contemplation, and quiet mindful time. It's very important. Again, when we're going to worship, we don't worship once a day, better said, once a week. Most people go to church once a week and think, well, that's it. I went to church on Sunday. I'm done. Living in a spiritual, prosperous world means ongoing, consistent, never ending. It is just part of who you are. And making that part of who you are is by going into daily practices of meditation, contemplation, quiet, mindful time. And quiet, mindful time can also just be just sitting, sitting there quietly. Let your mind drift. See what comes to you. Sometimes just sitting there in that quiet space, thinking about nothing, not reading, not doing anything, just sitting there. Kind of like when you watch TV and your mind drift and you don't even realize what went on in TV. You realize you just missed a few minutes, maybe even 5 minutes of a show you're watching. You have to rewind it because your mind just drifted. And most of the times we don't pay attention to where it went. But if you realize your mind drifted, don't just right away go and, oh, let me go rewind the TV or whatever. Or try to remember where your mind went. Try to remember what message, because that's where, when you drift and you go into that space of, you know, that's when the messages come to you. And it's also a moment where your soul is, or even your body, is just taking a break. And it needs to take a break every now and then. Everything needs to take a break, right? So going within with daily rituals, practices such as meditation, contemplation, and quiet mindful time. And like I said earlier, use a candle, focus on the flickering, then you close your eyes and then see it right there in your third eye. Like focus on it right here and try to block the outside noise. And again, it doesn't have to be an hour. It doesn't even have to be 20 minutes. Sometimes just a good 5 minutes, just a moment to just let go is very important. And, take advantage of that as much as possible. Having an understanding that life is eternal beyond your physical life and body. And know that this is the greatest treasure and thus the greatest prosperity you can possess. And I was just talking about death not being something to be afraid of, but it's something to actually celebrate. It's something that actually helps you reach that space of freedom when there is no expectation or fear of running out of time. Because sometimes we get into that, especially as we get older. We start fearing time because we're like, oh, but I didn't get this done yet, and I still want to do this, and I want to do that. And we get so caught up with, oh my goodness, I want to stick around a little longer. But that's not the right, again, vibration to put out there. We don't want to put a vibration of lack out there. We want to put a vibration of prosperity and wellness, and we're okay, and we're free and open, and bring me more good stuff. So, having an understanding that life is eternal beyond your physical life and body, and know that this is the greatest treasure, thus, the greatest prosperity you can possess. I mean, imagine having spiritual prosperity at that level, that peace that comes within you. No one can take that peace away from you. That's yours. This is the one where Jesus says, no thief could come and steal it from you. That prosperity is yours. That peace, that ease cannot be taken away. Only you can take that away. And why would you? Being grateful and experiencing the afterlife space right now on earth. I included that because I've been doing a lot of research and a lot of connecting with the other side. And in that space, and I think I also in a previous broadcast talked about my experience where I left my body. And in that space, it was so peaceful and quiet, and I realized I didn't have my five senses. They were gone. I couldn't see, I couldn't smell, I couldn't hear, I couldn't feel, but there was a sense of peace and ease that wasn't happy or sad or good or bad. It wasn't, oh, I'm laughing and dancing. It was nothing. It was just, oh, yeah. When you've experienced that feeling, when you're in that space, that's death. That's really all it is. And it's just you leaving your body and not having your five senses. And it's okay. But it gives you such a freedom when you understand that and believe it and feel it and know that that life is already living. As I said again, when I was in that space and in the meditation, the message they told me was, you already know, meaning we don't have to tell you anything. It's in your spiritual DNA. You have all the answers. It's in there. Just tap in there and you'll see the answer. And the next message they said was, and you're already dead. So, like, what are you worrying about? And I thought, you're right. You're right. Because this is a never ending life, it never ends. My soul sticks around forever. it's just going to keep growing and expanding and accumulating more knowledge and more experience. That's all it is. Next time, it won't be Karina Felix. It would be someone else. And it would be something that I haven't learned in this lifetime yet. And just being aware of that process allowed me to connect and understand that whatever doesn't get done now will get done in the future. There is no ending. If I have to come back to finish what I started, I have that option. And this is when you are in that spiritual prosperity, when you believe that you know you are part of it all and that you are going nowhere. This is eternity. So being grateful and experiencing the afterlife space now, right here on earth, now, understanding that part, understanding that we're souls having a human experience, really understand what that is and what that means. Oof. Being in oneness and consciousness with your God and Creator, and entering into the spiritual consciousness of your own heart. Again, take a moment to meditate, drift, go into that space that when you're there, you feel safe, you feel protected. When you know there are so much taking care of you, your guides are there to take care of you, your guardian angels, your ancestors, they're there. They're always here with us. I hope that gives you some peace of mind. I hope that takes you in a place of calmness and freedom, just freedom to live like fully, live completely, and enjoy it all because you are in oneness of consciousness with everything. Oof. Well, that was kind of deep, even for me. I kind of really got into this today. This is really the topic I love talking about because it I'm really hoping people start to understand how powerful we are, how powerful our minds are, and what we can accomplish just by, again, changing our perspective, switching the dialogue, literally rearranging the story. We can rearrange our story. We don't have to be left in the past with the past stories. And it doesn't matter what happened, the victim, the trauma, it doesn't matter. Forgive the person, forgive the situation, forgive, move on, because all you're doing is damage to yourself. And why would you want to do that? So let's let that go. Let's forgive everything. Let's change the perspective and create a new story. Let's know that there's more out there, that we are infinite, and just ah. So, I want to share 3 steps that you can start doing today to start getting you into that new mindset, that new way of thinking, that new way of looking at your life. Step 1 is connect with your inner self. Spend time daily in meditation, reflection, or prayer. Focus on aligning with your higher purpose and nurturing your inner peace, allowing your spiritual awareness to guide your actions and thoughts. It's very important to be in the present consciousness. Step 2, practice gratitude and mindfulness. Be present and thankful for the spiritual growth in your life. Acknowledge the beauty in everyday moments and express gratitude for both challenges and blessings, knowing they contribute to your spiritual journey. That's what I mean with having a different perspective. Cultivate passion and service. Engage in acts of kindness and service to others. Spiritual prosperity grows when you share love, compassion, and support with those around you, creating a deeper sense of connection and fulfillment. And I would like to share today's affirmation. And today's affirmation is: my every action, thought, and response are controlled by the universal mind of God for my success and happiness. And so it is. What a morning. What a Sunday. What a message. Ooh, that just came through me. And I'm so glad I had a chance to go through this prosperity process with you. And I hope it helped you again see stuff from a different point of view and understand that your prosperity isn't just material, it is also mental, it is also spiritual, and that you should combine all three of them together. And once you have gotten to that space where spiritually you're content and mentally you're content, then the physical, because the universe is here for abundance. It is here to grow. It is here to give us more. So when you are in that space of I'm satisfied. I already have everything I need. I'm content. But the universe don't stop there. The universe is going to give you more and more. And because you're already content and you're not asking lack, you're not asking, it's gone. It has to bring more to you because we're here to grow and expand and become more and just be. So I hope this helped. And it will be on YouTube. You can rewatch it if you have to. Connect with me in whichever way you would like to. I again, we meet here every Sunday morning at 11 o'clock. You can join me on the Q&A immediately after. If you go to the website, and there's a link that's going to take you directly to the Zoom call. And please join and let's have a deep conversation. Should be fun. Remember, we're also having our masterclass the last Sunday of the month, and we have Nandini that's going to talk to us about helping our children reconnect with nature and plant and how that benefits them, their future, and the earth in general. And again, if you are in West Palm Beach area, South Florida, we meet every third Thursday of the month. Uh, and again, you can find all of that information on my website, karinagfelix.com, for events, masterclass. I'm also offering a free workbook. If you would like to sign up and get the free workbook, it is in the description. So go ahead and get your free workbook. And I will be offering more workbooks that you can get to help you for prosperity and abundance and mental health and just different things. I've been working on these programs for many years. So, and I'm here. I just want to share them and again, bring prosperity into this world. And we can only do that when we do it all together, collectively, because we're all one. So we are going to end with a prayer, very short prayer, to again help us start our week on a good way in a positive space. Remember, positive mental. And thank you again for joining me today. Take a deep breath. Hands up to receive blessings, prosperity, abundance, love, healing, compassion, peace, ease, divine presence, Universal God Mind, I turn inward to your presence at the center of my mind. Yours is the ultimate control of all life universal. Individualized such control over my life and affairs each and every day. My body, mind, soul, and spirit are open to your control in everything I do, think, and speak. You are the true self of my existence, and so have my acknowledgement, control now and forever, the body and personal mind by which my soul and spirit inhabit. Peace and calm are established in me. Now I acknowledge that as I exist in your universal God mind, in peace within myself, I rest in confidence that as you control the universe, your power